The following is a paid commercial program. Views expressed belong to its participants and are not necessarily those of the management and staff of WRAL or Capital Broadcasting Company.
It's time for answers to your medical questions. And get an inside look at the latest in healthcare, medical technology, and treatments. This is Rex on Call.
Welcome to Rex on Call. I'm Kim Dean Holderness for Rex Healthcare. If you made a New Year's resolution to eat better, get healthy, and lose weight, then you're in the right place. Today, our show will focus on wellness and weight loss in the new year. The experts answering your questions are dietitian Natalie Newell and personal trainer Denise Sepik. To call us here at Rex on Call, just dial the number on your screen in Wake County, 919-744-3876. And outside of Wake County, call us toll-free, 877-277-6252. If you're watching us as we're streaming live on WRAL.com, you can email us your questions to rexoncall@rexhealth.com. You can also find us on Twitter. Send us a message to Rex Healthcare, #RexOnCall. Now, even with changes to diet and exercise, weight loss doesn't happen overnight. Meet a local man who has made an amazing transformation one day at a time.
A true example of sheer determination. Stephen Ingram runs, strengthens, sweats at least 5 days a week here at Rex Wellness Center in Raleigh. He has come a very long way.
It was the beginning of 2011. I weighed 326 pounds.
Today, Stephen weighs 230 pounds and almost 100-pound weight loss.
I started coming here 6 days a week, running on the treadmill or the elliptical machine for an hour at a time, so I was working out 6 hours a week.
At his heaviest, Stephen was diagnosed with sleep apnea, forced to use a breathing machine to sleep. He was also admittedly in denial.
I didn't weigh myself often enough, and when I did, I'd be like, oh, that's unfortunate.
But in February 2012, he decided to change his life and joined Rex Wellness Center, which he now calls his second home.
I came in here with an attitude of like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it quickly. And that just wasn't the case. It took me 4 months to see any results, and those results were very small.
He admits he was frustrated that the weight didn't just fall off, but still determined, Stephen mixed it up a little, taking group classes, including TRX, a suspension training class that uses your own body weight to strengthen your muscles. Rex instructor Aaron Saraki says the class is for all ages and weight loss goals.
It works on the aerobic fitness, it also works on the strength, so the bone density as we age, that's a crucial part of the equation. I think it's just one of the best overall exercises you can do.
Gradually is how Stephen describes his weight loss, sweating it off, but not starving.
I talked to a Rex dietitian, and she told me that I was not eating enough. My caloric intake was not high enough to support the amount of exercise I was doing. And therefore, I was going into starvation mode.
A balanced diet with good fats and carbs helped Stephen put the final weight loss puzzle together.
Now I know how to eat. That's a very important thing to know how to do, and I don't think a lot of people don't know how to eat.
A slow process, but almost 3 years later and 100 pounds lighter, Stephen Ingram is a healthier man looking forward to an active future.
I did all 3 of the Rex Triathlon Series triathlons, sprints. I ran a couple 5Ks, I ran the Turkey Trot, and this coming year I'm going to start training for my first half marathon.
There was such an impressive life change for Stephen. He says along with that half marathon, he would like to do a marathon, and he even wants to go skydiving, obviously something he could not do at 330 pounds. So congratulations to Stephen. Joining us now, dietitian Natalie Newell and personal trainer Denise Sepik. We have lots of toys here to talk about. First, this is sugar that we are finding in our daily food. I am shocked. I had no idea. Walk us through some of these.
All right, these are various food items that some of our children eat or we eat as a family, and you'll be surprised at how much sugar is found in them. This is a cup of vanilla ice cream.
What?
And this is the amount of sugar that is found in that.
That's a normal serving size.
That's the normal serving size, a cup.
Crazy.
Which is about the size of my fist.
Which, and let's be honest, like we eat more than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a little small cup.
Yeah.
And a lot of times kids want that Fruit Loops or sugary cereals, and we think, oh, it's not that bad. But this is a cup of Fruit Loops. This is how much sugar is found in a cup of Fruit Loops.
Oh.
So it is very shocking when we can actually see it.
When you can see it, it is very shocking. Now,
Exactly. Pancake syrup, a lot of us like to have pancakes.
Of course.
And we'll add, instead of adding fruit or even like an all fruit jam, we'll put pancake syrup on it. A tablespoon of regular pancake.
That's a tablespoon?
This is a tablespoon. This is how much sugar is found in that.
Wow. Okay, so we just better about reading labels. I mean,
Look for lower sugar items, things that are comparable that you can kind of switch out. Like I said, instead of maybe picking pancake syrup, if your children will do like an all fruit jam, something with real fruit on it, or use fruit actually on top of it instead, maybe even a peanut butter on top of it, or with a little bit of honey would add the sweetness that they're looking for without as much sugar as a tablespoon here.
and those little tiny changes.
Yeah,
I
and a
imagine.
tablespoon is just 2 of my thumbs.
Oh, okay. My tablespoon is a lot bigger. Okay, Denise. When I know this time of year especially, people are all starting, a new workout routine. What are some tips for those people that are just kind of getting started, beginners out there?
Well, first of all, you do want to make sure that before you start an exercise program, you just want to make sure that you check with your physician. Make sure that you're A-okay to begin something like that. And I always tell people, just start with walking. Walking is fabulous. It's easy. It's safe. You can just grab a pair of sneakers and go. From there, you can absolutely make some really great changes. Joining different classes at a wellness center like the Rex Wellness Center, water aerobics, things like that. Any type of a way just to kind of get you out and moving, just to do those nice small incremental steps to help you really increase your wellness.
Now help me prove my grandmother wrong. Is it ever too late to get started with an exercise routine?
Never. Matter of fact, earlier today I teach a cycling class, 6 a.m., and one of my participants is 82-year-old gentleman, and so it's just incredible the amount of people that really just come out and get moving and get going no matter what their age.
Okay, hear that, Meemaw? Yeah. Okay. You, Natalie, you brought some other portion size things, and this is so eye-opening to me. And I think I eat really well. Just what the actual portion sizes look like.
Right. A lot of times people want to eliminate a particular food group, but it's not necessarily a food group we need to eliminate. We need to look at our portion sizes. And when you're looking at, for example, your rice, a half a cup of rice is typically a serving size. So it's very important to start out when you're eating dinner and sitting down and you already have a spoon that you need for the bowl for the rice. Go ahead and just put a measuring spoon in there and just put a half a cup in there. So when you're sitting down at the table, you can just use that as your spoon, and also you're already becoming more aware what the portion size is.
Because let's be honest, at my table, we serve a lot more rice than that.
Correct. And it's easy. Pasta, rice, these types of things can run away from you very quickly, and you can get a larger portion size than you anticipate. Vegetables, a lot of times people feel like vegetables are very daunting, that they can't consume enough vegetables. Half a cup of cooked vegetables is a serving size. 1 cup raw. So this is a half a cup. So you can, if you implement it with lunch and dinner, it's very easy to get the recommended serving of vegetables per day if you plan accordingly. Because as you see here, this is a smaller plate, and we do have about 3 servings of vegetables on this plate.
Okay. Now, Denise, what are some good after workout snacks? Like, what are you recommending after that spin class? What should you be taking in?
Right. Just servings of like almonds, a banana, just something to get you just your energy level back up. But because I know a lot of times when you get off of that bike or get in from that run or something like that, or just a Zumba class, you really want to make sure that you have something that's nutritious, but you don't want to go and just raid the cupboard. Just keep it nice and smart and light.
Because a lot of people will eliminate and not have a snack because they just went to work out, and dinner's going to be in a couple hours, or maybe their lunch might be in a couple hours, and then by the time they actually get to that meal, they're absolutely starving from the activity they have done previously. So it's really is important to plan that snack, whether bring it with you in the car if you're going onto work, or if you're going to be home and you feel like you want to raid the pantry when you walk in the door. Make sure you have that snack in the car. So when you walk in the door, you're not absolutely starving.
That's when I do all of my bad decision food. Right? As soon as I walk in the door, I just pounce. Okay, we're back after the break to answer your questions. Give us a call or send us an email. We'll be right back. This is Rex on Call. Welcome back. This is Rex on Call live on WRAL. Today we're answering your questions on weight loss and wellness in the new year. If you have questions for our experts, call in now in Wake County, 919-744-3876. Outside of Wake County, toll-free, 877-277-6252. And now we have the great Denise here. She's going to show us some moves that our seniors can just, if you're sitting watching at home right now, might be able to participate in. Take it away.
Absolutely. Just some things that we like to focus on for our seniors is functional activities, things that continue to let us do activities of daily living, things that living at home, things like that. Something as simple as just getting in and out of the chair. So this little exercise is just called a chair stand. So shoulders are rotated back, standing up nice and tall. You're just going to have a seat and then stand right up nice and slow. Just holding that weight right on your lower body and keeping that chest lifted. That activity is just something we do every day, just making sure that we can get out of the, off of a chair or out of the car, things like that.
Should you be, if there's handles on that chair, should you be using that to push up?
Absolutely. Well, it depends on what you're working for. If you do need those arms of the chair, you can use that as a regression and then progress to just hands right out at your sides. Other things that you can do with your chair are just different types of standing activities, a quarter squat, and activities just like this.
But holding onto the chair, so you're
holding
nice
onto
and
the
safe
chair.
and secure.
You want to keep in mind, you want to be safe, absolutely, for our seniors. Hip extensions, any type of movement around the chair is totally, is absolutely perfect.
So try it now as you're watching. Of course,
Yes.
keep watching.
Yes, absolutely.
And Natalie, I want to ask you, what is a great breakfast for so many people skip their breakfast? What's a great breakfast for folks out there?
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. A lot of times people want to skip the breakfast and go on to their normal activities and go about their day. But it's a good idea to start with breakfast. An easy breakfast would be a cup of Greek yogurt, blueberries or strawberries, any type of berries that are loaded with antioxidants, and a half a cup of a high fiber cereal. Mix that all together. You've got some protein, you've got some carbohydrates, you've got some fibers, and a tremendous amount of vitamins and minerals.
Okay, Miss White is called. She would like to know what's the best food to get your potassium up?
Well, bananas, as we all know, a lot of foods too now are enriched with potassium and things like that. So look at your cereals and breads and things like that. Make sure you are. It's a great, easy way. A lot of times nowadays people have eliminated bananas from their diet because they think it has a lot of sugar in it. The portion sizes have gotten larger on a banana, so it's a good idea to get a smaller banana and start it out and add it to your breakfast in the morning.
They are huge
They
at the
are.
grocery store.
Just look for the smaller ones.
Oh, okay, Roger wants to know water aerobics. How does it effectively get weight off?
Water aerobics are fabulous. First of all, the water is 12 times more dense than the air. So when you're working in the water, you have that nice density of the water to really make you work a little bit harder. But it's not as difficult sometimes for people with arthritis, things like that. It's a great medium to work in because you can do things in the water such as squats and more plyometric work that you couldn't do on land, help get your heart rate up and help to improve that strength and cardiovascular endurance and strength.
And it looks like so much fun. Every water aerobics class I see, they look like they're having so much fun.
It is very fun.
Okay, Bridget Johnson of Raleigh, she's in the process of losing weight. Good for you.
Yes.
For her midsection, are there exercises? This is two-part for both of you. Are there exercises that target the midsection, and are there foods that she should avoid when targeting the midsection? We'll go foods first.
All right. No particular food is going to target or spot reduce. It's calories in, calories out. Unfortunately, there's not that magic food item that you can consume.
Well, how come everybody that does these no-carb diets, they seem to lose weight
There's
so
a
quick?
substantial amount of water weight. And when you take on something like a low carb, they're eliminating a lot of the processed foods, a lot of the junk other foods. Their typical chocolate after lunch or a handful of M&Ms in the office or the empty calories like the chips and things like that that come with a lunch. So they're eliminating a lot of the processed foods and they're becoming more aware of eating more vegetables, more lean meat, maybe even eating more often, which is controlling how much they're eating at one time and their blood sugar levels. So it's always a great idea when you're looking at losing weight is to really start by looking at your food and what you're actually consuming, and keeping a food journal so you can see where you can make the modifications and make the change. Because you've got to see how many calories you are consuming, and it's a good idea to meet with a dietitian because they can determine how many calories you need to actually lose weight to meet your goal. Because a lot of times people want to go on a really low calorie diet, which can actually slow down their metabolism and actually make them go in almost a starvation state, and actually can really hinder their results long term. So it's really a good idea to meet with a dietitian to determine your calorie needs, and then they can kind of split it up based on your goals, what your activity level are, what classes you're taking, how much protein you need, how much vegetables, how many grains, or if you're looking for a gluten-free diet or something like that. They can kind of plan that plan for you instead of just going out on your own.
The MedGym, I remember doing that as well. That was one of those other tools. I thought that was just so amazing.
But there's no, as for you, just if she did nothing but sit-ups all day, that's not going to necessarily reduce.
It's got to be nutrition, and it's got to be exercise and cardiovascular work. All those elements really, and genetics.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I know. So coming up, we'll answer more of your questions in Wake County. Call 919-744-3876. Outside of Wake County, toll free 877-277-6252. Email us your questions at rexoncall@rexhealth.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rex on Call here live on WRAL. To reach us here at Rex on Call today, you can call at 919-744-3876 in Wake County. Outside of Wake County, toll free 877-277-6252. Email us your questions at rexoncall@rexhealth.com. Now, exercise is beneficial for much more than just weight loss. Strength training has given a local woman the power to live a full life after a stroke.
Visiting a sled dog breeding and training facility in Alaska was a dream come true for Rebecca Leonard.
I used to travel a lot, and I'm able now to travel again.
Her love of travel came to a halt in 2001 when she had a stroke, leaving her left side immobile.
Because I had worked out regularly prior to the stroke, I knew that physically and mentally it was going to be important for me in my recuperation and my recovery.
Already a member of Rex Wellness Center, Rebecca was determined to regain her independence and her strength.
I was not able to exercise on my own anymore. I needed help. And fortunately, Rex Wellness offers trainers.
She signed up with trainer Molly Bott.
So take the load off the knee a little bit by lifting your core. Good.
Today, at age 68, training 2 or 3 times a week has paid off. Once a professor at NC State, she now does volunteer teaching and is living independently.
Give me a little more bend on that left leg. There you go, nicely done.
How'd she do it? Sheer determination, but also she was fit before the stroke.
I believe that my recovery from the stroke was enhanced, was easier and faster because I had worked out before the stroke. When I was in a wheelchair for a year, I had to transfer myself in and out of the wheelchair. Had I not worked on my upper body strength before that, I don't think I could have done it.
Okay, pull. There we go. Through exercise, she gained some power back in her life.
Tying Rebecca's weak foot to the stationary bike pedal strengthens her left side. It's a full body routine to help repair Rebecca's functional movement.
I train things that she's going to need in everyday life. Getting in and out of the car, picking up her groceries. She still does all of her own shopping. She does a lot of house cleaning.
It also made traveling again a reality.
Do you remember when we were getting ready for the helicopter and we put up 1 riser, then we put up 2 risers?
These stepping exercises gave Rebecca the strength to visit Alaska, and working one-on-one with a trainer was a big plus. A personal touch Molly recommends for any senior citizen.
They can start working on your goals, and they can work on your functional fitness, and they can also help you prevent injury, which is huge as we start getting older.
For Rebecca, fitness started before the stroke, and today it's helped her regain her independence.
I do this not only for physical health and fitness, but for mental health and fitness as well.
And Denise has some quick tips for talking about that functional fitness. Denise, tell us some tips and tricks.
Okay, well, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about some activities that you could do at home. You want to make sure that you are safe, that you are in a safe environment doing these exercises. So being seated and having just something like a ball or tubing is wonderful to work with. One easy little exercise that you can do, just imagine you're trying to open a pickle jar using this is a fit ball, using a small fit ball to just kind of imagine that you are opening a pickle jar for your grasps to help you with that functional fitness of opening a jar, or just that hand and finger dexterity and strength. Another thing that you can do is just putting that fit ball right on the ground and just leaning forward onto that ball, lifting the opposite leg up, lift and hold. This is an awesome balance exercise that will really help you just with some of those exercises we did earlier, strengthening that lower body and helping you to get nice and strong in the new year.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Now back to nutrition questions. Celeste wants to know what food she should eat to keep from getting diabetes.
Oh, that's a great question. First thing is really look at, there's not a particular, obviously we talked earlier about sugars, watching your sugar intake. Be mindful of how much white flour products you're consuming in your diet, like potato chips, French fries, sugary cereals, things like that. Look for breads that have 3 grams or more of fiber. Look at the dietary fiber. We need about 25 to 35 grams of dietary fiber per day. So to meet that goal, you really have to be mindful of all the white flour products. That will help control blood sugar. Also, eating more often, eating small mini meals, like a small plate like this for lunch and dinner instead of our larger plates, and eating every 2 to 3 hours or even 3 to 4 depending on your schedule, and not eating just like the traditional 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I would rather someone eat a little bit at one time and eat more often, and trying to think, am I hungry? I'm not hungry? Well, I don't know, and just wait. And then to eat a large meal at one time.
Okay, great. We'll have a final round of questions after this break. This is Rex on Call. Welcome back to the show. This is Rex on Call. We're taking a final round of your questions. Sean from Willow Springs is going through menopause. She has 30 pounds to lose. Because of all those hormones and all that changing, is it even possible for her to lose weight during menopause?
Oh, absolutely. Just like we were talking earlier, it's never too late to start exercising. It is never too late to look at your diet and make changes. Small changes can make a difference. And it only takes 100 extra calories a day to put 10 pounds on a year. So if you could just eliminate 100 extra calories from your diet, maybe an extra half a cup of rice or an extra slice of bread or something that's unwanted calories, or even creamer that you put into your coffee, can really make a difference, and you can start to see some small changes to help you reach your weight loss goal.
Okay, we have 1 minute left. Now, this is somebody, Thaddeus, he's had 2 hip replacements. He can't run or walk long distances. What kind of exercises can he do to lose weight?
Arm cycle is phenomenal. Go to a wellness center, get on that arm cycle, keep the lower body alone, and try and do some of those, make sure you're doing the physical therapy, make sure that you are making some progress so that they can get back into walking, some kind of walking and movement again. But starting with that arm cycle for cardiovascular exercise is going to be a great idea. Okay, and Prius wants to know, what's the best way to build muscle? Best way to build muscle after hip replacement?
No, just in general.
In general. Oh gosh. Okay. Just a very smart exercise program, making sure you're doing a progressive overload of your muscles, but making sure that you are not running into overuse injuries. Too many repetitions, too much weight. Just keeping it nice and smart and tight, and working with a trainer, doing classes, and so on.
Perfect. Okay. As always, consult with your physician about any health concerns. Thank you guys for coming in, and to our phone bank for taking all these calls. If you are looking for a doctor, a referral, or even just to find out more about the wellness and dietitian services, you can call Rex Health Net. That number is on your screen, 919-784-4490, or visit rexhealth.com for more information. Join us next month, February 9th, for Rex on Call. Our topic is healthy hearts. You can email us ahead of time with your questions at rexoncall@rexhealth.com. We will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining us.
This has been a paid commercial program. Views expressed belong to its participants and are not necessarily those of the management and staff of WRAL or Capital Broadcasting Company.